Hello, my name is Jerry, and I'm coming to you from edequity.org, where we try to provide free education to underprivileged kids around the world. And this video will be on YouTube and it's going to be free to watch. So today I'm going to be teaching a concept in Algebra 1 called System of Equations. And last time we learned how to solve the system of equations with substitution. So basically you substitute in y or x into one of the equations and you solve for one of the variables and then you solve for the other variable. So today we're going to learn another method which I think is used more common. It's called solve with elimination. Now what this means is, so you solve an equation by eliminating a variable. So you can't solve one equation with two variables, right? So you just eliminate y or x and then you'll be left with one variable and you can solve that. So without further ado, let's try some problems. So say negative 8y plus 9x equals negative 5 and 8y plus 7x equals negative 75. Now for this system, substitution would work, but it would be too complex because you would have to separate y or x, which is pretty hard because all of these variables have different coefficients and you will end up with fractions which are hard to deal with. So what you want to do here is you can see y and y. So here is negative 8y and 8y. So we can do something about that to make it to eliminate that. So we can add the two equations, right? So negative 8y plus 8y, it will be 0, so that's the y is gone. 9x plus 7x, that's 16x, and negative 5 plus negative 75 will be negative 5 minus 75, and that's negative 80, and that will equal to negative 5. X will be negative 5, and plug that back into one of the equations and you get 8y plus 7 plus 5 plus negative 75. 8y equals negative 40 and y equals negative 5. So in simple words, you just have to eliminate the variable. And now it's rather simple because you can see right away that y has the same coefficients, negative 8 and 8. So you just have to add them to eliminate the coefficient in front. So it will be 0 times y, which is just 0. So let's try another problem. These problems will be rather simple. 2y plus 7x equals negative 5. 5y minus 7x equals 12. So again, you can see that the coefficient for x are both 7. So we can just add the two equations. 7 plus negative 7 is 0, and 2y plus 5y is 7y equals 7. Y equals 1. Now plug that back in and you get 2 plus 7x equals negative 5. 7x equals negative 7, x equals negative 1. And there we go. Number 3, 13x plus 2y equals 1. 5x minus 2y equals negative 10. And here you can see you just add two equations, and which will eliminate the 2 in front of the y, and it will eliminate the y variable. You get 18x equals to negative 9, and x equals negative 1 over 2. And you plug that in Let me check. Yeah, okay, x equals negative 1 over 2. 13 times negative 1 over 2 plus 2y equals 1. Negative 13 over 2 plus 2y equals 1. 1 plus 13 over 2 is 15 over 2, so 2y equals 15 over 2 and y equals 15 over 4. Okay, let's try another problem. After this, we're gonna do some harder problems. Negative 9x plus 4y equals 6. 9x plus 5y equals negative 33. So just add the two equations, and you get 9y equals negative 27 and y equals negative 3. Plug that in. Negative x minus 12 equals 6. Negative 9x equals 18. X equals negative 2. So those are some easy problems. Let's try some harder ones. Negative 4y plus 11x minus 67 equals 0, and 2y plus 5x minus 19 equals 0. Now, what you notice here that's different is that the constant, which is 67 and 19, is on the same side of the equation as the variables, and that is okay, but I would recommend moving the variables to one side of the equation and the constant to the other side of the equation, because it's just simpler to see and it's simpler to solve, and you won't make as many mistakes. So turn this into negative 4y plus 11x equals 67, and 2y plus 5x equals 19. So now, as you can see, we cannot simply just add or minus or subtract the two equations, because that will not eliminate the variables. If you add the two equations, it will be negative 2y plus 16x equals to 86, and you cannot subtract them. So what you have to do here is make the variables the same. So we can either make the coefficients of y the same, or the coefficients of x the same. And as you can see here, if you want the coefficients of x to be the same, you would have to multiply 5 on the top to make it 55x, and 11 on the bottom to make it 55x. Now that's a bit hard for the calculations, especially if you don't have a calculator. So we'll look at the y. Y is negative 4 and 2. So that's easy, because 2 times 2 is just 4, and you don't have to manipulate both the equations, you just have to manipulate one of them. So let's try multiplying 2 to this equation here, and you get negative 4y plus 11x equals 67. Multiply 2, it applies to every single constant in this equation, because otherwise it won't equal. So 4y plus 10x equals 38. So as you can see here, we have negative 4 and 4, so we can just add them and it will eliminate y. So add them together and add the x's together and the constants together, you get 21x equals to 105, and x equals to 5. And you plug that back in, and plug it here. Negative 4y plus 55 equals 67. Negative 4y equals 12, y equals negative 3. That's one of the complex problems. Let's try another one. 7y plus 10x minus 8 equals 0. 2y minus 5x minus 18 equals 0. So again, move the constants to the other side of the equation, so it's easier to see. And 7x plus 1 plus 8 equals 8. 2y minus 5x equals 18. So look here, 7 and 2, you have to multiply 2 on the top and 7 on the bottom, which is not that hard, but there's an easier way to do it. If you look at the x, for the x you just have to multiply 2 again to the bottom equation, and you will have the same coefficient for x. So multiply 2 on the bottom, you get 7y plus 10x equals 8, and 4y minus 10x equals 36. And you just add the two equations together and you get 11y. Notice 10x plus negative 10x is 0, and you get 11y equals to 44. Y equals 4. Plug that back in. 28 plus 10x equals 8. 10x equals negative 20. X equals negative 2. That's that problem. And that's all for today's video. So we learned solving with substitution in this video, and I believe honestly it's an easier method. However, if you do see a y equals something in the original problem, then you should use substitution. But honestly, most of the time I would use elimination. And during elimination, if the coefficients are the same, just add or subtract the two equations. And if they're different, then manipulate 1 or 2 to make the coefficients the same and do the same process. That's all for today. I hope you learned something from this video, and be sure to check out our website edequity.org, where we offer more free content and free worksheets and quizzes for you to do. So be sure to check that out and subscribe to our YouTube channel to see more free videos, and see you next time. Thank you for watching.